from me, my lord.
Into leyo engayizwa kuyena noma engayithola kuyena.
Thank you. Now, he only told you that he had to fire 8 bullets because he did not know the material from which the bullets were made, and then he wanted to fire test bullets which were made of materials of a different nature in order to come nearer to the same bullet. Do I understand you right?
That's correct, my lord.
Thank you.
Yebo ngoba ke wayengazi ukuthi ke inhlamvu eyenziwe kuphi noma ke yalokho ke uhlobo kwakufanele ke adubule ama test bullets ahlukahlukene.
Beyond that, is there anything that he told you about these bullets?
No, my lord.
Ngale kwalokho akukho okunye angitshela kona ke ngale inhlamvu.
Now, Lieutenant Colonel Mandela told this court, okay, before we get there, and I'm going to request you to remind me about this point. Now, when you analyze these bullets, these test bullets, is there anything very specifically, ballistically, that you found under the microscope which you would love to bring to the attention of this court as to the nature of the bullets and stuff like that? Those which you analyzed?
My lord, it was 4 years ago and I can't recall exactly any specific marks. I just gave an opinion. I made no record of anything I saw.
Iminyaka emine ke eyadlula ke ngakwenza ke lokho akunama marks athize ke engathi ke ngiyakhumbula ke manje futhi akukho engabhala phansi okwami kwakunginikeza nje ngofo.
So that is how you apply to scientific method of analyzing this bullet. You never wrote anything down. You kept everything in your head. 4 years down the line, you had forgotten what you saw on the 20th or on the 22nd of July 2020. Is that the case?
My lord, when I mean I forget, I cannot recall whether I made the identification on a specific field, on a land, on a specific spot on the bullet. Not the fact that I couldn't remember anything about the identification.
Akusuka ukuthi ke akukho nje engikukhumbulayo ukuthi nje angeke ngisho ukuthi yini kahle kahle ke eyangenza ke ukuthi kube yiyona ke engikhomba ngayo noma ke identify ngayo noma kwakuyi mark ethize.
Thank you, ma'am. So you basically come here to tell the court that 4 years ago you did an analysis, you never wrote anything down, and 4 years down the line you had forgotten what you saw on those bullets.
My lord, as I mentioned, I didn't forget that I made a positive identification. I just cannot recall which exact marks I used to make my identification. Normally, if the verifier will note down whether it's a room or a land or a specific area, as I was only asked for opinion, I did not need to write it down.
Engishoyo ukuthi mina ngikhohliwe ukuthi yebo khona ke ngakusho noma ke khona isinqumo engafika kusona ke engishoyo ukuthi nje angikhumbulile ukuthi i-market thizeni lena ke ekwaba yiyona eyabangela ukuthi ke ngifinyelele leso sinqumo engafika kusona kodwa ke ukhona ke lo yena ke lo wabizwa ngokuthi ke uverifier uyena ke obhala phansi ke ozosho ukuthi kwakuyidrovu noma kwakuyini mina okwami kwakukunikeza nje ngoba kuphela.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Mandela told this court that the reason why he had to fire 8 bullets on top of the 2 that Warrant Officer Rudolph worked on, it is because he could not get the necessary mark. In other words, the transfer of the mark from the tool to the bullet was of a very poor quality. So he had to keep on firing up until such time that he could compare all bullets and take out the one that he, according to himself, he could work on because it had better marks. That is what he told his court. Do you follow?
I follow, sir.
Ukhenya mangena ke watshela lenkantolo ukuthi yena ke isizathu sokuthi-ke ngaphezu kwala mabhulethi amabili-ke awadubula ukuthi-ke aze adubule-ke awu-8 kwakungoba-ke ukuthi-ke amamark ayengatholakali kahle-ke abuya kusona-ke isibhamu andluliselwa kuyona inhlamvu kwakungakho-ke kufanele andlulisele ukuze athole-ke ekuyiyona yona.
Now that you can't dispute because you can't remember what you saw on those bullets, not so.
My lord, as far as I understand, it's not like Colonel Mangena shot 2 tests, then went to the microscope, didn't find enough, went back, fired 2 tests, looked more, didn't find enough. He fired all the tests at the same time. The reason he fired more than 2 was because there is the exhibit bullet is a CMJ, which is a complete metal jacket, and the original tests are FMJ, full metal jacket, and they're marked differently.
Lana kulokho engikuzwayo-ke akusukuthi uMangena wayedubula-ke abeseyahamba-ke ayobheka ku-microscope aphinde adubule abuyele kodwa-ke wadubula konke ngesikhathi-ke esisodwa ngoba-ke lana sikhuluma-ke ngey'nhlamvu ezahlukahlukene sikhuluma ngayo i-CMJ kanye nayo-ke i-FMJ.
But then where do you then get that information from? The one which you just explained now, where do you get it from?
Colonel Mangena wrote an affidavit saying that he fired tests marked so and so.
Ukuthola-ke manje lokho qeda ukusho-ke manje uKolonel Mangena-ke unestatement asenza-ke la ashoyo khona-ke ukuthi-ke wadubula.
So you read through Mangena's affidavit?
I did read through it yesterday, my lord.
Yes.
I was just refreshing myself as to make my 2 and 2 as to how the exhibits were marked and such.
Ukusho ukuthi-ke usifundile-ke noma wasifunda-ke isitatimende sakho Mangena, yebo ngisifundile izolo uma-ke sengifuna nami-ke ukuyikhumbuza futhi-ke nokulungiselela-ke lesi esami isitatimende kufanele ngisenze.
Because according to my understanding, the explanation was several tests were shot because of the Colonel Mangena did not know the origin of the complete metal jacket bullet, and therefore he fired several manufacturers to get the best, to get the closest to the exact ammunition used.
Ngoba-ke engitshelwayo-ke noma okushiwoyo kumina-ke lana ukuthi-ke uKolonel Mangena wadubula-ke lama-test bullets awu-8-ke ngoba wayengayitholi-ke noma engazi ukuthi-ke inhlamvu leyo yayenziwe kuphi-ke noma-ke i-manufacturer yayo kwakuyiphi-ke kungakho wadubula lawo.
Now take Mangena's affidavit out. Take it out. I'm not asking you about what is contained in Mangena's affidavit. If I wanted to ask you, if I wanted to know what is contained in Mangena's affidavit, I would have asked him and he has already testified. What I'm telling you is that that is what he told this court. So if you had not had sight of his affidavit, you would not have disputed what he told this court, not so.
And therefore can't comment on that, my lord. No.
Akukho-ke engakusho kulokho ukuthi uma bengayibonanga i-affidavit yakhe bengeke ngiphikisane nalokho akushilo la enkantolo. Akukho engakusho lapho.
Thank you. And further on, when he was explaining his results as to how he actually came to the conclusion that indeed the sin bullet was fired from the alleged firearm, he told this court that he identified that in one of the bullets there was something peculiar with that bullet. Did you note anything peculiar in one of the bullets?
I don't know which bullet necessarily.
Bullet number 9.
Sorry?
Bullet number 9.
I can't recall, my lord. As I said, I can't recall the exact marks that I saw.
Okunye futhi akushilo-ke ukuthi-ke kwakunale nhlamvu njena-ke inhlamvu-ke number 9 ukuthi kwakunento nje ngayo ngabe uyakhumbula yini wena-ke kunenhlamvu okhona nje okodwa nje wabona nanjengoba ngisho-ke ukuthi-ke angikhumbulile.
Let me tell you what I told you this court. I told you this court that bullet number 9, although according to him, he was able to find some striations here and there, but the nature of the bullet was such that this striations were not evenly transferred throughout the bullet because of the nature of the bullet. It had a ditch, it had an indentation. Do you know what an indentation is?
I do, my lord.
What it is?
It's as if there's a space, it doesn't reach.
It doesn't reach.
There's a slight dent, so it's not equal in level, if
Yeah.
that's what you say.
Thank you. That is indentation. That is what I told you. You can't dispute that. Not so.
I can't dispute that.
Waphikisa-ke ngoba yena-ke uma esho ushilo-ke ukuthi-ke uma le makhi-ke isindluliselwa-ke kusona-ke isibhamu kuyona inhlamvu adluliselwanga-ke ngokuthi-ke ilinganeke kwakukhona-ke la kwangathi khona-ke nendawo ewumgodi noma indawo kungakho ukuthi ingaba level khona-ke kuleyo nhlamvu leyo angeke uphikise uma kusho lokho cha angeke uphikise.
I would have thought, man, that as an expert who dare to be these things under a microscope, these are all the features that we have been able to identify as an expert, of course. That is what I would have thought and expected from an expert, but nonetheless, let us proceed. Now, you're saying Forensic Science Laboratory, South Africa, limits itself to the usage of pattern matching, because it is qualitative and not quantitative. That's a bold statement that you made before court. So,
My lord, I did not say they limit themselves. I said we use pattern matching.
yes.
Engishilo mina ukuthi la eSouth Africa-ke akuthi nje siphela kona-ke kodwa sisebenzisa le nhlobo-ke ebizwa ngokuthi-ke i-pattern matching.
Thank you. And that you had limited yourself to a usage of pattern matching because of its qualitative nature.
I did not limit myself. I prefer pattern matching as it is prescribed by FD and the South African Police Service as the method we are using.
Mina-ke ngikhethe yona ukuthi ngisebenzise yona-ke nanjengoba kuyiyona-ke esetshenziswayo-ke eSouth Africa.
Now, Mr. Magena used CMS as a method of comparison. That is what it is. You're probably aware of that fact.
No, my lord, I'm not aware of that fact.
Angikwazi-ke lokho ukuthi umama yena wasebenzisa i-CMS.
He used CMS. CMS basically has got to do with striations. Is that not so?
Pattern matching and CMS both have to do with striations.
Zombili-ke i-CMS kanye nayo-ke pattern matching zombili-ke zisebenza ngawo-ke lokho okubizwa ngokuthi ama-striations.
I'm talking CMS, not pattern matching. CMS.
CMS has to do with striations. That's very good.
Yebo i-CMS yona-ke ingakwenza nawo ama-striations.
Now, he came to court, man, already having prepared a chart on how he was able to identify those striations and the methodologies that he used to identify those striations. This is just by way of a background. Do you follow?
I find them.
Oh, thank you. Have you ever attended the CMS course?
I attended a CMS workshop, my lord. I wouldn't refer to it as a course.
Kune-workshop-ke yayo i-CMS engake ngaya kuyona angeke ngiyibizele ukuthi kwakuyi-course.
When was that?
I can't recall the exact year or date.
Angikukhumbuleke unyaka.
It was the same one Mr. Pickett said.
Iyona nelena uMr Peters ayeye kuyona.
That was in 2012.
Okay, then it was 2012.
Makubeke u-2012 futhi.
That's almost 12 years ago. And after having attended that course, did you ever use CMS as a method of comparison?
My lord, CMS is a quantitative method of describing an observed pattern. My apologies. I did not use CMS exclusively, no.
mina-ke i-CMS uhlobo nje olodwa lokuthi-ke ubheke noma-ke utholeke kodwa mina-ke i-CMS angaze ngiyisebenzise uthando.
But my question is very clear. After having attended this course, this what did you call it now?
Workshop.
Workshop, yes. After having attended this workshop, did you then thereafter ever use the CMS as a method of comparison?
My lord, as I explained, pattern matching and CMS are not mutually exclusive. Even before I attended the course, one would still look, I have a pattern here, I have a pattern there. We don't count the lines, the specific amount of IDs we have.
Nangaphambi kokuthi-ke ngiyeke kuyona-ke le workshop nalapho-ke sasingabheki-ke noma sifale-ke ukuthi-ke imigqa etholakalayo-ke uthola imigqa emingaki-ke kodwa-ke wawubheka-ke lokhu sikubiza ngokuthi-ke ihamba kanjani noma-ke lokhu kubizwa ngokuthi phecelezi i-pattern.
What does CMS stand for?
Consecutive matching style.
Lokho kuchazwa noma uyena-ke u-CMS lowo uma-ke amastraya lana-ke ngokulandelelana-ke noma-ke consecutive matching straya.
You are saying your trade is based on training and it's also based on experience. So
That's correct.
now when it comes to the calculations of the striations, when one is using the CMS method of comparison, are you in a position to assist the court in that regard?
It is for the criteria for CMS on a three-dimensional image. It is 2 sets of 3 and 1 set of 6. Oh, sorry, my lord, you can just correct me. That is correct. And the two-dimensional image, it is 2 sets of 5 or 1 set of 10.
Indlela-ke esetshenziswayo-ke yokuqala-ke la ekuthiwa khona-ke kuyabhalwa khona le kuyi-CMS amaset amabili-ke a-5 yalezo eziyi-5 noma-ke iset eyodwa kwawu-10.
I did not hear you well because at some stage you said no, sorry. May you please start again?
My lord, I just confirmed that it is a three-dimensional image. It's 2 sets of 3 or 1 set of 6. Two-dimensional is 2 sets of 5 or 1 set of 10.
It's 2 sets of 3. Enye-ke futhi bekude amaset amabili 3 noma-ke iset eyodwa-ke u-6.
Now, the counting of the striations. How should the striations be counted when one prefers to use the CMS method?
According to my understanding of CMS, my lord, they should be consecutive, the one after the other.
Ngokwami-ke noma ngolwazi kwami-ke uma ebalwa-ke kufanele ukuthi-ke ahambe-ke ngokulandelelana
Without a break, my lord.
ngaphandle kokunqamuka.
Thank you. In an event that there's a break, you are assisting the court. In an event of there being a break between the striations, in other words, where one finds, say, the first striation on the exhibit bullet, which runs through into the test bullet. Then there's a striation on the exhibit bullet, which is not there on the test bullet. And the third striation is there on the exhibit bullet. It also runs through to the test bullet. How do we then go about with the counting in that regard? Can you get my example?
I get your example.
Yes.
That is why we don't use CMS, my lord. We're looking at the pattern as a whole. It doesn't mean that if the mark didn't transfer either on the one side or the other side, that it doesn't exist. It's just that marks don't transfer exactly the same on everything.
Ama-mark uma lana esendluliselwa-ke kuyonke yonke into awandluliselwa-ke ngohlobo-ke noma ngendlela-ke efanayo leso sizathu-ke sokuthi-ke singasebenzisi-ke lo hlelo lolu olubizwa ngokuthi-ke i-CMS.
One of the reasons could be, as Mr. Mnisi mentioned, that there is a dent in the bullet, so the surface is not equal, so therefore the mark didn't necessarily transfer.
Okunye-ke kungaba ngale ndlela-ke abesho ngayo-ke waba umnisi-ke ukuthi mhlawumbe akukho-ke okulembe noma-ke ukuthi kuyalingana-ke kunale dente abekhulume ngayo-ke uMr. Mnisi.
Well understood. The counting method. You said you need to count the striations and that there should not be a break. I gave you an example. In respect of the example that I gave you, how do we go about the counting business?
My lord, if there is a break, then with CMS, as I understand, you start recounting.
Uma kuwukuthi kukhona-ke la ukuthi uma ubala uthole ukuthi kunala ngamaka khona-ke noma akakhambi ngokulandelelana kuyona i-CMS ila ubala uphinde uqala phansi futhi ubala.
Same relative position. What do you understand with the concept?
My lord, same relative position means that if I find a mark on the base of the bullet, I would expect the mark on the base of the other bullet that I'm inserting as well.
Uma-ke khulunywa-ke ngendawo eyodwa-ke noma-ke same relative position ukuthi uma-ke imark leyo uyithole khona-ke enzansi kwinhlamvu eyodwa noma ubheka kwenye-ke uzolindela-ke ukuthi uyithole kuleyo ndawo.
When you say base of a bullet, what do you mean?
The bottom end of the bullet, my lord, if we have the nose of the bullet, which is around, if we have a mark, for example, close to the nose, I would expect it to be close to the nose of the other test or exhibit that we are examining. It should be in the same position. You cannot compare a mark that you found on the nose to the mark you found at the base of the bullet, which would then be, if you can call it the bottom.
Mangikhuluma ngayo-ke ibase mhlawumbe khuluma khona-ke ezansi uma kusho ukuthi-ke uma ukuthi mark leyo uyitholeke la bizwa ngokuthi-ke ikhala-ke layo inhlamvu ulindele nokuthi uma uyibheka kwenye-ke uyithole kuleyo ndawo kodwa ungatholi endaweni ezahlukene.
Thank you. Now, based on what you've just said about the method of counting, when somebody says, even if there's a break in terms of the consistency of the striations, you continue to count. You don't start from one. Would you say that the student got to the test right?
Are you speaking in terms of CMS?
I'm talking in terms of CMS striations, yes.
Yes, my lord. That is how they count it. If there's a break, there's no line, they do not count it. They start again until they find 3. And therefore, that is why they limit it to 2 sets of 3 or 1 set of 6. With pattern matching, it's not the same.
Uma bona-ke bebala-ke baze babala batholeke ukuthi-ke aqhubekekile yilaba kuyela emuva-ke khona-ke bayoqala kodwa-ke kuyona-ke i-pattern matching akwenzeki ngaleyo ndlela.
Maybe I'm sorry, maybe I need to repeat my question. My question is, if a student says, it's just a hypothetical situation, if a student says, in a CMS method of analysis, where, for instance, back to my example, there's a first striation that runs through the same bullet and the test bullet. There's no dispute about it. But the second striation, which is found in the same relative position or area, is only found in the test bullet. I mean, it could be either on the test bullet or on the exhibit bullet. Let's say it is only found on the exhibit bullet. But even under the strongest microscope, that striation is not there on the test bullet. And then you go to the third striation, it is found on both bullets. Then you ask the student, how do you count this striation? Then the student says to you, you continue to count. In other words, you count the first one as 1. Even if there's a breakage, you continue to count the third one as a second striation in order to get it. Would you then say that student got this method of counting right?
No, my lord.
Thank you.
Angeke ngithi-ke uma kuwukuthi umuntu uyabala asathole ukuthi akukho-ke okuqhubekayo noma kunala bese iyaqhubeka-ke angabuyela emuva ngithi loyo muntu loyo noma loyo mfundi loyo o-right.
So you gave that student the wrong because he has failed the test, and so.
That is not how CMS works.
Akusiyona.
Based on my knowledge.
Ngolwami-ke ulwazi akusiyona indlela i-CMS esebenza ngayo leyo.
No, but let us talk about this student. We're not done with this hypothetical situation. I'm asking you, you give that student the wrong because he would have failed that answer, not so.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yebo ngizothi-ke loyo mfundi loyo-ke leyo mpendulo leyo akayitholanga kahle.
You're probably wondering who that student is. But I won't tell you who that student is. It's for me to argue at the end of the case, not so. Thank you. I don't want to spoil it. I think I no longer have any questions for you. Thank you very much, particularly for the last answer. Thank you very much. I've got no further questions, man. Thank you.
Yes,